I'm going to show you how to add your product for sale on Amazon and how to create your entire Amazon listing, including the title, the main image, all the side images, the bullet points, the description, all the things that you need in this one video. And if you're watching live right now, I do want to remind you there's only 16 spots left to join the Passion Product Formula. This is my Amazon FBA program. It's a step-by-step program where I walk you through and show you how to create your own Amazon business. It comes with over 100 pre-recorded live lessons that you can watch anytime, as well as weekly Q&A calls, one-on-one coaching, a group that you can join. It comes with a lot of different things. It's only available, if you want to register now, it's only available until midnight this coming Tuesday in a few days. We got a few more days left, or when these 16 spots fill up. We're limiting it to only 50 people that can join, so we don't have too massive of a group for the Q&A calls. So that being said, now I'm going to show you how to create your Amazon listing. All right. All right. And the first step to creating a listing on Amazon is to click on these three little dots, right? Well, actually, I should back up. All right. The first step to create an Amazon listing is to log into your Amazon Seller Central account, which I already showed you earlier. And if you guys don't know, I'm doing a challenge right now where I create an Amazon business in just 7 days. This is day, I think, 4 or 5. First day we did product research, then we showed you how to find a manufacturer, then we showed you how to actually create the product itself, including the branding, the logo, all of that. Yesterday I showed you how to create an Amazon Seller Central account, and today we're showing you how to add the product on Amazon. So if you guys haven't seen those previous ones, that's fine. You can just watch this video, but I would recommend watching those other ones because it's kind of cool. Like, nobody on YouTube is doing this where they're actually showing you live as they create a product in just 7 days. So the first step to adding your product on Amazon and creating an Amazon listing is to log into your Amazon Seller Central account. Once you've done that, you're going to click on the three little lines up here, and you're going to go to Catalog, Add Products. Now, depending on what kind of product you're adding for sale on Amazon, there are a couple different options. For instance, if you're selling an existing product, a product that already has a listing on Amazon, for instance, let's say that you wanted to, I don't know, buy a product wholesale or buy a product retail arbitrage. Let's look at, I think there's one called green grass powder. That's a product that I've used before. You'd do that in Amazing Greens Grass, that's the name of it. You'd click here and you'd click on copy listing, and you'd basically say that you want to sell that product. Let's say you bought that product in bulk, or maybe you got that as a gift and you just want to list it for sale on Amazon. That's how you would do that. Now, however, if you're doing what we're doing here for this 7-day live challenge that I'm doing, where I'm creating a real Amazon product in just 7 days, and we're creating our own unique product. That's something I always teach people, is when you're selling on Amazon, the way to make the most money selling on Amazon is not to do retail arbitrage. It's not to do wholesale. Like, those are okay methods, but if you want to make a ton of money, you want to create what I call is a passion product. A product that you're actually passionate about, where you can do private labels. So private labels where you take an existing product, you slap your brand on it, you slap your label on it, and you sell it on Amazon. But what I recommend doing is trying to improve the product in some way. And I mean, look at, this is one of my products, carnivore jerky, and I'll show you guys how I created this later. It's not a revolutionary product. There's a lot of beef jerky out there, but what we did is we branded it for the carnivore diet specifically. And if you type in carnivore jerky, our product's the #1 product that shows up. We get a ton of sales around this because a lot of people are doing this carnivore diet. So when you are adding a new product onto Amazon, creating a new listing, you're gonna click on this blank form and you're gonna click on the start button. Then we're gonna put the item name, and this is gonna be the title of what you want the product listing to be. So like, when item name here, that's the item name. And what I would recommend, if you've never created an Amazon listing before, if you don't know what you're doing, I'll walk you guys through later in this video how to create it on your own. But let me show you guys my secret. FBAcreatives.com. This is the way to go. They will create your entire listing for you. They'll create the branding, they'll create everything. If you go into services, they have the premium package here, Or we can even just, if you already have your branding and you already have your packaging, then you can just go with the a la carte option. Let's say the listing package. And I have a discount code I'll put in the link down below in the description as well. But with this service, they're going to do the listing title, the bullet points, the product images, the 3D render. Like, yeah, like this is one of my old products here, you can see. They do everything for you. And I'll show you guys what that process looks like. In fact, they'll send you a document like this. So they already did the title for me. And to be fair, this FBA Creatives, it's a company, I'm a partner in this company, I'm one of the owners. So a lot of times before we send this out to clients, I'll look over it. So I'm gonna look over this title and I'm gonna maybe make some changes. But clove tea, premium antioxidant infusion, whole cloves herbal tea blend for digestion and immune support, all natural, 0 sugar, and caffeine free. 14 count. All right. So I'm gonna copy that and we're gonna paste it here. Boom. Just like that, we already have our title. So then it's searching and then it says tea. Examples include herbal tea, da 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 da, confirm. And then it has what the category is here. It's automatically filled this in for us. We can always change this by clicking on the drop down, but that's correct. It's an herbal tea, so that's perfect. The product does not have variations. So variations would be different flavors. And let me show you an example of a product that would have variation. I don't know if we actually have variations on carnivore electrolytes. It's one of my other products. Let's click here. Yeah, so we have a lemon flavor and an unflavored. That's what variation means. For this product that I'm showing you today, this clove tea, we do not have variations. And again, for anyone that's just tuning in, this clove tea, this is a product that I've created over the last 4 days. This is like a brand new product. So brand name, we're gonna put clove tea. And external product ID is a UPC code. So I got a UPC code for this, and I'm gonna copy that and put it in here. So in order to get a UPC code, let's see, example. You can go to gs1.org. I'll put a link down below in the description. And if you need help with that, contact me, travis@passionproductformula.com. That's actually another service that I've been considering getting into is helping people getting barcodes. So if you do need help with your barcode, email me, travis@passionproductformula.com. But it's not that hard to get a GS1 barcode. You don't really need my help, but if you want it, I'm happy to do it. It's gonna cost you like 30 bucks with gs1.org. It'll cost you more if you go with third party. It could cost $100, $200. So let's click on get barcodes. You're gonna click get barcode GTIN here, and you're gonna have to fill out some information. You're gonna have to get an account. You're gonna have to do, it does take a little bit of work. So I don't know, maybe that is a service I'll offer in the future is helping people to get barcodes. But for now, you can do it on your own or email me and I'll help you. You have a Twitter brand name that has been approved. Well, in the meantime, what I'm going to do here is just put generic. So, or maybe I'll just even put carnivore electrolytes. So this is one of my existing ones. So usually we click on apply to sell. Yeah. So we'd have to go through this process here and apply. Approved for clove tea. Yeah, we're not going to do that just yet. I'm just going to do this for now. Oops. All right, so at this point, we're going to upload our images. Now, I was a little late asking FBA Creatives for our packaging and our images and all that. So I don't have all the images, but let me show you the process of this. And we have, so this is what the image is going to look like for clove water. This is a sticker that's going to go on the packaging. I wonder if I don't have the package here right now, but I'm just going to upload this for now. So let me upload. Boom. Now, ultimately, you want to have a lot more than just that one image. let me see if I can show you an example of what this is going to look like eventually. So I'll use as an example carnivore electrolytes, or no, I'll use carnivore jerky because that's a good one. So let's go into edit listing. So under images, so that's the main image we have here, and it's a 3D render. Again, if you want to get a 3D render of your product, you can use FBA Creatives. You can also get photos, but most of the people nowadays use 3D renders. And then you can see here's all the other images, and these images, the goal is to sell the benefits of the product. So you'll see this on the side. So we have the nutrition facts. We have this here, pure and bold flavor. Enjoy the true taste of beef with no added sweeteners, just rich natural goodness in every bite. Yeah. Basically, we're just trying to sell why people should buy our product. Grass-fed beef, beef bone broth, sea salt. That's it. That's all the ingredients. So for this product right now, I only have this one image. That's fine. For the product description, let me show you what that looks like here. And again, FBA Creatives already gave us the bullet points and the product description. So for now, the product description is pretty simple. And then for the bullet points, we're gonna go one by one, adding the bullet points. So I actually don't, see, this is something I've noticed. I always like to have the keyword in the bullet point that we're trying to target. So the number one keyword that we're trying to target here is clove tea. And we can put 100% clove tea, I think would be way better. Naturally rich in antioxidant, clove tea helps reduce. Yeah, the rest is pretty good. But that's like the one little change. And the reason why we always want to have keywords in the title in the bullet points is because Amazon is a search engine, and people type into Amazon what they're looking to buy. So in this case, it would be clove tea. And the thing that they type into the search engine, that is the key. Those are the keywords. So clove tea is the number one thing that people are gonna put in here in order to find our product. And we want to make sure that Amazon knows that our product is clove tea. And so once we have clove tea in the title, in the bullet points, Amazon's going to be like, well, obviously when people type in clove tea, we should show them this product. So let's copy this over. And I'm going to show you how to figure out which keywords you should have in your title, in your description later in this video. There's a tool that you can use that'll make this entire process very easy. So bullet point, boom. And then we're going to click on add more, and we're going to continue adding bullet points. Add more. And I will be answering any questions that you guys might have. Leave it in the chat, leave it in the comments down below, and I'll be answering all the questions. And if you haven't yet liked this video, make sure to smash the like button because nobody's doing this. Nobody's actually showing you every single step of creating an Amazon FBA business. So from here, we're gonna go into product details. All right, manufacturer, we're gonna put clove tea. Number of items, let's provide the number of total identical items in the selling unit to the customer. Now, I'm always a little bit confused. I forget what this means. We could say 14 tea bags. Yeah, because there's 14 tea bags per pouch. No special ingredients. Clove. That's the special ingredient. Is the item heat sensitive? No. All right, the rest of the stuff is optional. Serving quantity unit. Serving quantity. Yeah, we can put 14. We'll do that, portions. Flavor, clove. Ingredients, cloves. Form factor. pouch. Caffeine content 0, caffeine free. Each unit count. See, this is where I get confused. Number of units in each. 1. So, yeah. Because there's only 1 pouch. It's not like we're doing a 3-pack of 3 pouches, each with 14 units. Allergen information. I'll put clove. I don't know if that's an allergy. No. Is product expirable? I don't think it really is, but I'll have to check with the manufacturer. For now, I'm going to put no. Item form, tea bags. $14. Count. The rest of the stuff, let's see, container type, pouch or sachet. Let's see, bag. I'd say bag. Tea variety. Herbal. So the problem is none of this really is it. You have a lot of interesting ones. We're going to see what happens if I don't, it's supposed to be necessary. We're going to see what happens if I don't add it in. Maybe I'll just put something that it's not for now. Yeah. How is there not an other option? I was going to put turmeric just to make them happy. Okay, so offer. So quantity, 1. Oh no, like this is how many units we have. I think we're gonna have like 20, let's say. Because we're gonna make at least 20 pouches. We might do more, we can always update this later. Price, so in order to figure out the price, a lot of times you're gonna look at your cost, you're also gonna look for examples of what else is being sold. I'm just gonna put, you know what, I'm gonna put, yeah, $19.99 for now. Actually 24, yeah, $19.99 for now. Item condition, new, of course. Listing price. Let's put it as $19.99. Now here's something important. Fulfillment channel. I will ship this item myself, or Amazon will ship and provide customer service. So for this one, right now, we're gonna do, I'll ship this item myself. But in the future, we're gonna have Amazon ship this. So this is the difference between FBM and FBA. With FBM, it's called fulfilled by merchant. I am the merchant, I am the one selling the goods, and I'm gonna be handling the fulfillment. The fulfillment means when someone places an order on Amazon for my product, I'm actually going to pick, pack, and ship the product myself. Meaning I'm gonna package it up, I'm gonna pay for shipping. I'm gonna go to FedEx or UPS or the post office, pay for shipping. I'm gonna have the post office come and pick it up, or I'm gonna drop it off at the post office. I'm gonna handle all that. Now, this is what's really cool about selling on Amazon. They have a service called FBA, fulfilled by Amazon. And with this, I can send all the units, let's say 100, 1,000, 500,000, whatever the number is. I can send all the units that I wanna sell on Amazon to the Amazon warehouse. And then from there, every time I get a sale, Amazon's shipping it out. Let's say I get a sale in Texas, Amazon's shipping it out. I get one in New Orleans, I get New York, wherever. Let's say I'm getting 100 sales a day. I don't need to do anything. Amazon's handling all that for me. Now, if you do FBM, it's a good way to get started quickly. The only way I'm able to launch this business in 7 days is because we're gonna start with FBM. Otherwise, it takes a few weeks in order for you to ship your product into the Amazon warehouse. It takes time to wait. There's some process there. So we're gonna do FBM for now, but very soon we're gonna switch over to FBA. Like once we can get some inventory in the fulfillment center, then we will switch over. Item dimensions, we don't have to worry about that right now. Let's see here. We don't have to worry about any of this right now. I still don't know why product details has an issue, but we'll figure that out. Safety and compliance, country of origin, United States. Dangerous good regulations, not applicable. Contains liquid contents, no. All right, I don't know why. So right now offer is still giving me a little bit of trouble. We can just turn off these for now. That's probably why it's giving me trouble. And product details is giving me some trouble. I'm not sure what the issue is here. Let's try, oh, okay, it's this one. Allergen information. Allergen free. There we go. And, well, let's give it a second here. And boom, just like that, we're gonna hit submit. Well, now, you know, there's one other thing. Oops. We're gonna hit done. All right, boom, just like that, we have our listing. Let's see if we can find it here. All right, right now it's inactive. It says review blocked reason. Oh, that's berberine tea. That's another one of our products. So it might take a little bit of time before it shows live, is my guess. Let's go here. Inventory, manage all inventory. Oh.
It's a new Amazon policy.
Oh, okay.
All listings have to go through a 4-day mandatory review.
Okay. All right. So yeah, all listings on Amazon have to go through a 4-day mandatory review now. So we're not going to be able to see our listing here, and we're not going to be able to launch when I was hoping to launch, but that's okay. I'm going to still walk you through the rest of the process here. Tomorrow we're still going to go over shipping. And then the next day, we're going to go over what I would do on a launch day, but we might change things up a little bit here. So that's a big issue that we had. Good lesson for next time. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it over in just a minute to Connor, and Connor's going to show you how he's going to create his listing for the pork rinds. But really quick, before I do that, a reminder, if you're looking to sell on Amazon, if you're looking to create your own Amazon FBA business, check out the passionproductformula.com or passionproductformula.com. It'll reroute you here. There's only 16 spots left, and it's a step-by-step program. It comes with weekly Q&A calls. It comes with coaching. It comes with everything you need to know in order to start your Amazon business. Over 150 step-by-step screen-recorded lessons. So I'm going to hand it off to Connor here in just a second. He's going to show you how he's going to create the listing for the pork rinds. All right.
All right.
Boom. Oops, let me grab my phone before I forget.
All right. Great. Now we're going to go over the pork rind product that we have been breaking down throughout this week and go over how we're going to create the listing for it. With every product that you launch on Amazon, the differences in the category, there's going to be slightly different ways to approach the listing, and there's going to be different things to fill out on the listing itself. There's going to be different positioning as well for each product, and that's why it's important to really have your customer avatar in mind when you're creating not only the listing bullets and title and everything that goes in it, but also the listing images. And think about your customer avatar and creating a product that's ideal for them. Again, people cannot try your product before they buy it. They can only see it. So it's really important that you make your listing look as good as possible, because that's what's going to convey whether you have a good product or not. Plus the reviews, of course, in your listing as well. So in order to do this, we're going to go over to our Amazon seller account, and we're going to go ahead and click this add product button right here. Now, alongside this, we want to use a little tool from Helium 10 that's going to be one of our best friends while going through this process, and I'll be going through this live with you so you can see this right in action. We're going to get logged into Helium 10 so that we can use this tool. And if you guys aren't subscribed on Helium 10 yet, make sure to go ahead and use this code. If you go to travismarziani.com/Helium10, this should be the link, and this should take you there to basically what's the best discount code available on the internet, 35% off. You can get started and follow along, but it's actually really, really important that you take advantage of this in this process right here, because I'll put the link in the chat so you guys have it. But this is super important because Helium-10, what will allow you to do is, number one, you can find the keywords that you want to rank your product for. What are your target keywords? We went over this a little bit in the product validation. Let me see what the camera is doing right now. Let's see what's going on. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. Let me just see what's going on here. Well, let's see. Hopefully this fixes itself. All right, it seems to be good now. Looks like it's working. Okay, just wanted to make sure that you guys can see everything I'm working on right here. So in Helium-10, what we can do, as you guys remember, if you guys were tuned in for this past Wednesday's session on product validation, Helium-10 is the tool we'll use to find the keywords and validate the product ideas. So if you remember, when we were looking on the Magnet tool and we were looking on the carnivore diet, we discovered those keywords that looked great for pork rinds ground pork rinds, carnivore breadcrumbs, things like this that are basically become the target product. So if we search this again, we'll look up ground pork rinds again. Ground pork rinds. What we can do is we can make a folder on Helium-10 that includes all of the related keywords that we think are great keywords to target. So this one is definitely one for sure. We'll make sure to add this. Let's go ahead and add our filter in because I don't really care to see anything that's got a search volume of below 150, as that's just going to be too small to worry about. Let's see if we can find, we're also going to add in a phrase containing ground for now, and then we want to go ahead and add some more ground pork rind crumbs. That's an important one, ground pork rinds. And these two are really good. Ground pork, these are all not related, but we can hit this button that says add to list, and we'll go ahead and create a new folder, and we'll call this carnivore bread crumbs to identify our product right here as the ground pork rinds. So then we can go ahead right in here and add these keywords. And let's see if we can add a couple more keywords. Let's look up crumbs again and see pork breadcrumbs. That's what we're looking for. Pork rinds. We're getting some good ones right here. So we're going to keep selecting all the keywords that we think are relevant, and we see the great. Again, if you guys missed out on Wednesday, what we're looking for is we're looking for Magnet IQ scores that are at least 3 times the search volume. The CPR is showing you how many sales you need in an 8-day period in order to rank for each one of these keywords. So if it says 8, you only need 1 sale a day to rank for this keyword. But the other thing we're going to need to rank for these keywords is to make these keywords be present and prominent in our listing and our title and all the elements that we'll go over in a second. So that's why it's really important that we identify what are our target keywords and how easy are they going to be to rank for. For instance, these keywords will only require 8 sales in 8 days, so 1 sale a day. However, this keyword right here requires 26 sales in 8 days. So what is 26 sales? You'll need a little bit over 3 sales a day in order to rank for this one. So that's a little bit more difficult. So I'm glad we have these other keywords that we can rank for in the meantime. And it looks like there's actually a large number of keywords. So we're going to keep going here to make sure we add all of them. Pork panko crumbs, ground pork rind crumbs, a lot of great, very similar keywords, but all good ones nonetheless. And I really recommend spending a good amount of time figuring out when you're doing your listing, what are all your keywords? And when we talk about keywords, you have 2 or sometimes even 3 sections of keywords you're thinking about. The first section of keywords are the keywords that you know you can rank for. For instance, if I see this search volume, this Magnet IQ score, this is a Magnet IQ score 5 times above the search volume, and it only has a CPR of 8. This shows us that it's relatively uncompetitive, and we can easily rank for this. This is our safety keyword because we know, worst case, we could rank for this. Whereas something that's got more of a search volume, but a higher CPR, and less of a ratio in the Magnet IQ score to the search volume, this is a harder keyword to rank for. So this is more of a goal keyword. So it's good to have your safety keywords that you know that you can rank for, but it's also good to have the goals, because the goals will be like, hey, once we get the momentum going, we'll be able to rank for this, but maybe not at first. The safety keywords let you know that your listing will be all right if you hit a certain number, and you don't have to try to get 100 sales in your first week or anything like that, and you can build as the momentum goes up. let's add just a couple more keywords. Again, I'm doing this real fast for the live, but I do recommend taking your time to do this if you are doing this for real, because this is one of the most important steps of your listing, adding the actual keywords in and making sure they're prominent. So let's go ahead and add them all to this folder. So we have all these keywords on here. The next thing we can do in Helium 10 is go over to this, actually there's a couple things, but one of the big ones here is the listing builder, which is now optimized with AI. So what we'll be able to do in a second, once we get the listing set up, is we can hit create from scratch and we can enter in the product's ASIN. We'll go ahead and get this set up so that we can start building in a second. But basically, we can go in here and we can select our folder that we just created within Helium 10. And we'll go ahead and press this button that says add to bank right here, and it will add in all these keywords, and then we'll go over to next. We can type in some product characteristics, and I actually have them listed out over here that I will copy and paste in to show you guys exactly how this works. This is our product characteristics. This is a lot of detail right here. We'll do this, but we'll actually ask this to write it for me as well. Let's see. Acknowledge and get started. And basically what this is going to help you do is it's going to help you check off each one of these keywords to make sure that you are including that keyword prominently enough in your listing to rank for it. So you have a couple opportunities to get keywords relevancy onto your listing. The first opportunity is the title. This is the first thing that most people will see. So it's really important we have the main keyword right in the front right here. This will ensure that not only is Amazon behind the scenes going to see that your product is relevant, but customers are going to see that it's relevant too. When a customer sees this, they're going to know, or a potential customer, they're going to know that this product is for them. Then we want to make sure that all these other keywords start to get hit. It's okay if you don't hit all of them in the title, but we want to make sure that we hit them all throughout. In fact, we might even consider hitting our bigger keyword right here and go ground pork rind crumbs right here so that we can hit this top keyword, which is a little bit bigger of a search volume and might be a better prominent keyword. Again, we want to keep in mind, again, what we're talking about, those safety and those goal and those reach keywords, right? Those reach keywords, we might not want to go all in on it first. We might want to build up that base with those smaller keywords so that we can make sure this listing can get the momentum going. We can go through each one of these, and we can even hit this write it for me, where Helium 10 will use AI to write the bullets for you and make sure that you're hitting all your keywords that you need to reach right here. There we go, zero carb to light. I think it did a really great job. We can hit use suggestion, and we can keep going down here. It actually wrote all of them, all with AI, so easy. And this is the power of Helium 10. Helium 10 will make sure that you are creating a listing that actually reaches those target keywords. It will help, first off, validate the ideas, validate that people are actually searching for the product, validate that it's not too competitive. But again, it will also help you build your listing and make sure that you're actually building a listing that targets those keywords that you originally identified. So Helium 10 really is your best friend. Again, I know some people are like, I don't want to spend that money. It's such a small amount of money to spend for the value you get on it. If you're going to invest the time in purchasing a run of inventory for a product, if you're going to invest the time in doing a run on Amazon, it makes sense to not dive into this in the dark and have a tool that's going to be one of the best things you can have at your disposal. Give a brief summary about your product. We can say ground pork rinds. I don't know why the write it for me button's not here. Maybe we need to add keywords in order to enable this, but we can keep going through here. And in fact, I've already ran this through. So, but just to show you guys how it works, you keep going through here. Amazon Post is a new feature. We won't talk too much about that because that's getting a little bit more advanced, but it is really important that we have generic keywords. We'll get there in a second. We have a description and we have bullet points and that we have our product title. Those are the opportunities that you have to make sure that your product is showing up for as many keywords as possible. Let's go back over to our Amazon over here because we're going to start to fill this out. Now, as this product isn't already on Amazon, we'll just go by list by product ID. And we're going to go ahead and grab our GTIN number. Sorry, not our GTIN number. We're going to grab our UPC code that we get from GS1. Now, GS1 is the place to buy barcodes for your products, where you can get a UPC, otherwise known as a Universal Product Code. Universal Product Codes are the barcodes that you find in most any product that you see, where you can scan it and the computer system will know what that product is. This is the only official source for barcodes, so I recommend when you're getting your barcode, always get them from GS1. They're $30, or you can buy them in bulk for a discount if you have many variations or something like that. But for most people, you're probably just going to buy one barcode and you'll receive it over email very shortly. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab that barcode quickly once I find it over here. Let's see where the barcode is at. What are we logged in with? Okay, let's see. One second while we grab this barcode. I'm gonna grab it over here. Again, once you purchase the barcode, it will take just around 5 minutes to receive it over email. We already did this in before the lineup up here, so we have this all ready to go. But let's go ahead and grab that code. You can search your email. It will come in from GS1, and GS1 again is the official source for barcodes. I would not recommend ordering barcodes from anywhere else. And we're going to go ahead and enter in this code that I have pulled up over here from the GS1 email. Your code will look something like this. Usually it starts in the number 1 followed by a sequence of digits. And because we're listing this product for the very first time, when we hit submit here, Amazon is going to tell us that there is no other matches so far. And this is correct. We are creating this listing. This is our own product, so there shouldn't be anything. If there was a match, that would probably mean there's a mistake. Now again, we'll go back over to Helium 10 and we can copy that title it gave us and paste it in here. Now we did this earlier, so we're gonna go ahead and paste that title that Helium 10 gave us based on our target keywords. And in fact, we just made that slight little change where we added in the word crumbs right here. And let's see, it does say that it looks like, and we've added in the word crumbs to make sure we target all of our keywords. And Amazon will try to, by default, give you a product type based on what the title of your product is. And we just want to go ahead and check that this is correct because it's not always going to be correct. Sometimes Amazon will make mistakes here and you can always select other. But looking at this right now, breadcrumbs and stuffing, panko, this does look correct, although it isn't technically a breadcrumb. It's a breadcrumb alternative. So this is the best category for us here. Now let's go ahead and hit confirm. And we're going ahead and add a brand name. Now the brand name we'll be using right here is Peak Primal. We're able to go ahead and select it because we have brand registry already set up. Now brand registry is a function that you can get within Amazon if you upload a trademark. You need a trademark in order to get brand registry, but it will allow you to put a brand name here easily. It will allow you to get A+ content uploaded. It will allow you to protect your brand and enforce it. If someone tries to use your brand name on Amazon, you're able to enforce it and take it down, and all you need is a trademark. Now you can register a trademark for around $300 yourself. That's the way I recommend doing it rather than getting a lawyer. I would recommend we have a video on YouTube where we'll break down how you can get a trademark. Now you do not need a trademark. You can save money by not getting a trademark. However, I think brand registry is really, really worth it, and there's a lot of cool features with that, and you'll get it even when your trademark is pending. So you can get that form right away from the trademark office, the USTPO office, and they'll give you your pending trademark number, and you can use that with brand registry before your trademark even gets approved. So pretty cool. This code we entered here is a UPC, so we want to go ahead and select that. The other thing about the brand name to keep in mind, you can still use a brand name without brand registry, but Amazon will require a couple things. The first thing is the brand name here needs to match up with the brand name that you registered the barcode for on GS1. If there's a mismatch, it will not let you proceed. The second thing you'll need to do is you need to upload a picture of your product where the brand name is prominently displayed on the product itself. This is required because we have brand registry and we have a trademark for Peak Primal. We don't have to worry about that. But if we did not, we would have to go through that step right here. Let's go ahead and press next now. Now we will enter in the product description. Again, we used our help from Helium 10 and the listing builder AI tool to create this and make sure we're fitting in all of our keywords. Looks great. Now we're going to go through and do the bullets. Again, Helium 10 has helped us create the bullets over here based on our keywords, but we also want to make sure that we're hitting all the prominent parts about our product. For instance, something that they did not hit up on here that I want to make sure is a bullet is that our product is made 100% in the USA. That's really important, and our customers really care about that. And that's something that the AI itself, because it's so keyword focused, it didn't get. So beyond keywords, you should also use the bullets to make sure that you're showcasing all the great features about your product. So let's go bullet by bullet and add these. Another thing is Amazon technically tells you to not use emojis and to not use things in all caps. However, you can usually get away with it, and it often makes your bullets stand out. Sometimes Amazon will come in here and they'll tell you, hey, you got to take that down. You're breaking the terms, but there's certain things that are technically Amazon terms that everybody gets around, and one of those things is doing the first part of your bullets in all caps. And usually this is the format, like you see right here. Do the first part in all caps, and then expand upon it with a little paragraph. This is the standard bullet system that most people employ on Amazon. Again, not everyone does the caps, but I like it. I think it looks good. I think it helps the two parts stand out between each other. Next, we will go on here and we will upload our images. Now, again, if you missed it from a previous lesson, we get our images done from FBA Creatives. FBA Creatives is the #1 spot to go for getting your graphics for your Amazon label, for your listing. Everything regards to selling on Amazon, their graphics team specializes in doing design for Amazon specifically, what converts with Amazon, what works. And so instead of working with a designer for Fiverr or one of these other platforms, you're working with designers that are completely optimized for what they're doing. And I think they actually came up with some great listing images in this case. If you guys want to use FBA Creatives, you can use code Travis to get 40% off your next order. I will put this in the chat. Your first order, you can get 40% off. All right, let's go back here and we're gonna go ahead and upload these images so you guys can see what we're talking about here and see these great images that we got from FBA Creatives. Now, one of the things about the product as well in your listing image is technically you aren't supposed to show anything that's not actually part of the product. But you can usually get away with this as long as it's not the main image. The main image on Amazon needs to be the product with a white background. It's supposed to be a photo, but everyone basically does 3D mockups to make it look as good as possible. As in, this is a 3D mockup right here, and we'll get away with using this just fine. Then we can see all the listing images. We have something that has the nutritional facts on it. We have that made in the US stamp as well as carnivore friendly, and we emphasize all the big things about our product and show it in action a little bit. What is the use case? We can see it on this product, and technically speaking, Amazon in their terms would be like, hey, your product doesn't contain chicken or whatever this meat is. You can't show that, but everybody does it and everybody gets around it. So now that you see these images, let's go ahead and upload. We'll go right here. We'll go 1, we'll go 2, we'll go 3, and we'll go 4, and we'll go 5. There we go. We got all these images uploaded right here, and now we can see that we have some more tabs that have popped up on the top. So let's go over to product details and start filling in some information. For the manufacturer tab, you can literally put whatever you want to. And for us, we're gonna say Peak Primal, the same as our brand name. That will make us look very official. Number of items. Technically, you're getting 1 bag of pork rinds, of ground pork rinds, so we're gonna head and put 1 there. Color, it's not important, so we're not gonna put that. Size, it's not really an easy answer, so we're not gonna answer that either. If you don't see the star right here, you don't have to fill it out, and if it doesn't make sense to fill out, I wouldn't. However, if it does make sense, I do recommend filling out as much as possible so that your customer will have all the information they need to make a purchase. It is not heat sensitive in the sense where we would need to press yes. Heat sensitive is relative, and there's a certain temperature. So for instance, chocolates would be heat sensitive, but you'll just have to find what that temperature is, and we can keep it at room temperature. Serving quantity. We can go ahead and check the nutrition facts that we got in that graphic from FBA Creatives. Let's go ahead and see what it is. There are 32 servings in here, and the unit size is, let's see what scoops. There are 32. I guess it's technically ounces, but serving size is not an ounce, so we'll go with scoops. Oh, serving quantity. Oh, how much is this? I see. Serving quantity is actually going to be 3.5, and then we'll go here grams. Not too much because you're just using this as a breadcrumb. The flavor is not really a flavor here. And if any of these things you're ever not sure about, a little trick that can be very helpful is what we do, a little bit of listing hacking. So we can go on Amazon and we can see pork rinds ground, and we can find one of these competing listings and see exactly what they put. So flavor is interesting. What flavor does a pork rind have? We could put pork rind or something like this. It's probably not going to matter too much, but we can see what they did by scrolling down to their listing details and scrolling through. In fact, they might not even have something on there about that. But for us, I'm just going to go ahead and say pork. Or actually, let's go unflavored. I think unflavored is better. It makes it clear, and people know what a pork rind is supposed to taste like. The ingredient is ground pork rinds. Keep it very simple. The form factor is next. The hour design. It is a stand-alone plastic resealable container. We can even change that to bag to be a little bit more specific, but it is what it is. Cuisine, we're going to leave that blank as well. Each unit count. Each is the smallest unit that has a UPC. So because this product, even though there's lots of pork rinds inside of it, it's one unit. So there's only, this count right here is going to be one. It's only one bag. There's only one UPC code that's on it. So we're going to go ahead and press 1. Allergen information. There's not too much we need to put in here as there's no allergies. It's one product. People understand that. It's pretty easy when you're dealing with a one product. But however, we do need to make sure that if there are allergens that you put them, as this can be a very, very important step right here. Is this product expirable? We'll put yes, and we'll put the product expiration is the expiration will be on the package. The fulfillment center shelf life, this number does not matter completely. We just want to put a number in here that makes the fulfillment center know they have plenty of time. We'll go with 365 days. However, we can go even higher than that if we wanted to. We just want to give plenty of time for our product to sell through. It does not matter too much as the expiration date will be on the package. Next, we'll go to unit count. This unit count right here is the smallest unit. This is not the UPC. This for us will be measuring how many ounces are in the product. We'll be going on ounces or grams here. So let's go ahead and see. We'll select ounces. I think this ounces will be better. And we can see in this product that there are, let me do the math on that. There are 4 ounces in this product. So we want to go ahead and make sure that's reflected in the title. Specialty, we can leave this blank as well. But in the diet type right here, we will go keto. And we'll go add more. Let's see if we can add carnivore. Carnivore is not a diet that they have on Amazon, but we will say that they're keto. And I also just want to go back here and quickly change this to make sure that it reflects how many ounces are actually found in the product. Great, so we're filling out all this information. There's just a couple more important things. Let's go first over to safety and compliance. Region of origin is, actually, let's just go country of origin. We can skip the region because we're going United States. That's all we need to see. For dangerous goods, we can go ahead and press not applicable. Contains liquid contents, let's go ahead and select no. For item weight, we don't have to fill this part out at all, but we do know, as we just discussed, that this product is 4 ounces as the product weight. And let's go over to the offer. Next, we'll create a SKU. The SKU is entirely for internal use. So you can make this whatever you need to identify your product. For us, I think we'll just go, crumbs. As we don't have anything that currently has this SKU, that will be easy to identify, and it's easy enough to know. Now you'll have 2 options right here. The first one is either you will go FBM, which is merchant fulfilled, which means we will fulfill and ship the orders for us. Usually we advise against FBM, as with FBM, the issue you'll run into is fulfilling everything yourself. It's not a very passive business, and FBA is where all the power comes in, where you can use Amazon's fulfillment centers and warehouses to pick, pack, and ship your product all out for you while you sit and focus on the things that you want to in your business. It also usually ends up being cheaper shipping rates as Amazon has lots of negotiation power to get the rates down, even though you do have to pay an FBA fee for them to do this. Now, we were talking earlier about perhaps doing merchant fulfilled, FBM, in order to get this product launched this week, but given the fact there's going to be a several-day review process on this listing, I think we might just dive straight into FBA. And I'll show you what exactly happens when you press FBA because some of these boxes here will change. We're selling this item in new condition. We will also set a price. Now, price is something that it's really important that you make sure you know what your break-even point is and what you need to make a profit on this product. And one of the tools that can be of big help here is the Amazon Profitability Calculator. We have another tool inside of our course as well, the Passion Product Formula, that dives into this in even more detail so you can figure out what profit do you need to make for selling this product. Here we go. The FBA Revenue Calculator will just continue as guest. We can go over here in Define Product and put in our package dimensions. I don't exactly know the package dimensions off the top, but let's just go 4 by 6 by, basically it's 0.25, and then the unit weight, as we discussed, let's go 4 ounces to pounds. We can see it is a quarter pound. I should know that. And then item price. Let's just say we set the item price at $19.99, and shipping charge, we're not going to worry about that because that's just going to conflate it. And make sure you select the category, as this will determine the referral fee, this and the product cost. So it's grocery and gourmet. We'll go ahead and select that, and we'll press estimate. The other thing we can do is we can check out what other products are selling for in nearby. Now, this obviously is a lot more pork rind crumbs than we sell. We have a much smaller pack, but they're selling for around 22 bucks. Again, we're creating a more targeted product that's more niched down for the carnivore diet than a lot of these are, so we could also sell them for more than they're selling them for, relatively based on the weight. But we can see right here at an item price, this is how much net profit we would make with these dimensions after the FBA fee, which they'll charge about $3.15 per each product we sell. We will not be paying this fee as we have a premium seller account, so we'll get 99 cents back actually, so it's about $13.55, and then of course we have the cost of goods sold. So we'll have to estimate what this cost is. We have this in another spreadsheet, but let's just say it was $4. We'd be making a net profit of $8.55 if we sold this for 20 bucks. Now, I think we might sell this a bit cheaper than 20 bucks. What if we went down to $16.99? Now we can see what we'll make. We'll still be taking about $7 profit, remember, because we get that 99 cents back right here. We still don't know exactly what this total cost of goods sold will be, but let's just say it's about $6. I'm very happy with that. Let's go back over here, and for now, we're just going to list this at this price of $16.99. Then we want to make sure the list price also lines up with our price. We're the only one selling this, so these aren't going to matter too much, but we do want to make sure this lines up. Next, we will add the package length and dimensions. We're selling this in a 4x6 pouch, so we'll go ahead and add these dimensions in right now. And then, this should be width, and let's change that in 2 seconds. Once we select inches, this should actually be 0.25. There we go, and the package weight, as we established, is 0.25 pounds, and we are almost ready to go here. So with all this filled out, wait for the submit button to become blue, make sure there's nothing that's red that demands our attention, and we can go ahead and press the submit button. Thanks for submitting your listing. If approved, changes will be reflected in 24 hours. Now, as mentioned, Amazon has a new policy where now all listings that get registered are now subject to a 4-day mandatory review period. So it's going to take a minute for this product to actually show up in our inventory, but we'll see what it says. Oh, actually, clove tea is live now. That's great. Okay, so looks like they bypass. Sometimes they'll get caught in this. Sometimes they'll just like get thrown through, but it looks like clove tea is good. So this is good to know because we'll be able to move forward with the launch. Now, typically how this goes is we will need to wait just about no more than 15 minutes for it to actually show up here. And we'll see whether it is inactive and still going through that review process or whether they've approved it for use right away. If they've approved it for use right away, we can move forward with actually sending in inventory into Amazon. But that's the whole steps to setting up your product. I'll go into the chat to see if we have any questions before we turn it over to Cam in just a minute, who will break down clove water and exactly how we're launching that. Because again, each product, depending on the category, depending on what it is, we launch slightly differently because you have a new target audience for each product that you launch, but also each category comes with different things that Amazon needs you to fill out. For instance, for clove tea, we aren't using brand registry, or clove water as well. So there's a couple different steps that you'll be able to see within that process, so you can see that live and in action. Now, I know we've talked about it a few times here, but I want to make sure we bring up our program, the Passion Product Formula. If you guys are watching this, especially if you've been watching this for several days, but even if this is your first time here and this is your first time hearing about it, this program right here is our next step. For those of you that are serious about launching on Amazon, I don't believe there is a better program out there. I came into the world of Amazon through this program myself many years ago, and I've been able to utilize it to have the success on Amazon. What I believe with selling on Amazon is all you need is a plan, a roadmap to follow, basically. All you need with selling on Amazon is you need a roadmap to follow. A roadmap so you don't get lost, so you know what step comes next. What's the next step in the process? A mentor, a guide. When you get lost, someone who can guide you and steer you in the right direction, and a community. And that's what we aim to provide with this program. There's a weekly Q&A call to get all the questions answered that you have. There's 2 one-on-one calls that you get with Travis or a coach where you can break down in more detail, ask those specific questions that you have, as well as email support. And we have 117 step-by-step video lessons going through every single step of the process to help you launch on Amazon. And I've said this in the other videos, but this is the best time ever to launch on Amazon. And I fully believe that, and that's why we're launching 3 products this week, is there's never been a bigger opportunity. I know a lot of people are scared about oversaturation, scared about the tariffs, but the truth about this whole thing is that 2/3 of all sellers on Amazon are in China. They are in China. Sometimes they're the manufacturer themselves who sell products in China, and these are the people that have been undercutting, that have been oversaturating Amazon for years. And so now, with these tariffs in place, if you are a Chinese manufacturer or you are a Chinese seller on Amazon, you are about to get priced out of the market. You are either going to have to raise your prices 140% or you're going to have to stop selling. And given the fact that's 2/3 of all sellers, there is about to be a mass exodus of people selling on Amazon. People aren't going to stop shopping on it, aren't going to stop shopping on Amazon, but there's going to be tons of people leaving. So this is going to be a major opportunity to fill that void. As long as you're not in China watching this video right now, you have an amazing opportunity in your hands to build a product in the US like we have with these 3 products, or build a product in any other country like Mexico, Vietnam, India, so many other countries with manufacturing bases. You have the ability to do that and fill this void. It's about to be the least saturated time to launch on Amazon, probably in the last 7 years. So if you've been sitting on your hands for a while, thinking about taking the next step, haven't taken it, stuck in analysis paralysis, we can do so much. We can give you all the information, but it's up to you to take action. I don't think there's going to be a better time to take action. I think this is the best time ever. And so I would hope that this live can be some motivation. I would love if we could have you in the program. I would love to be working with you to take those next steps and help you guys launching products, because I'm sure there's some of you guys that are hearing this in the chat. You're ready to launch a product, and those are the people that I want to work with. So if you're in there, if you want to launch a product, I'd love to work with you. I'd love to see you in the program. There's only a few spots left. It says 16 here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's less than that now. We might even be down close to 10. So if you're interested, make sure to join. I hope to see you there. I'm going to turn it over to Cam now, who's going to break down Clove Water. How's he getting it set up? What's new? What's going on with that? So I'm going to pass it over right now.
All right, thanks, Connor. Hello, how's everybody doing? Good morning, everyone. It's still morning here in California, so wherever you are, hope you're doing well. All right, let's dive into creating a listing for Clove Water. Let's see. So Clove Water, I'm sure you guys have watched this process. If you're just tuning in, then stay tuned, because I'm gonna do the same thing that Travis and Connor just did. I'm about to create a product listing on Amazon for Clove Water. You saw Travis do it for Clove Tea. Now, we don't have all the information, and this is a question that I get all the time. When should I create my product listing? When is the best time to create the product listing? If you're just starting out, as soon as you start, you can create a product listing. And the reason for that is because creating a premium product listing could take a little bit of time, especially if you're a new seller. A lot of this stuff is going to be new, it's going to take you some time. So it could be taxing on your mind, and it could be a little too much information. So if you can start as early as possible, as soon as you maybe place your inventory order, or even before, depending on what kind of product you are making. You can even start this process early before, so you can have all the information that you need. You can get all the requirements that Amazon might ask you for, so you can communicate it with your manufacturer and so on. So you can get your trademark set up, making sure that you have your brand name set up and all of that. But even if you don't, you can still do it. And that's what I'm going to do today, actually. I don't have a trademark yet for Clove Water, but I'm going to set up my listing because I want to start that process. And I want to show you how we do that. So let's dive right in. And for those of you who are not going to invest in a service like FBA Creatives, you're going to do the research yourself. So start early so you can start working on your title, on your bullet points. There is a method to it. There is a technique to having a very powerful listing, and you want to take your time with it. Now, if you're hiring a service like we did with FBA Creatives, they do a great job for us, and they just make it easy because they do most of the work for us. Now, that doesn't mean that you just put it and you place it and it's done. You can still optimize it. You can still do the research like Connor shared earlier with Helium 10. You can still dive into the behind the scenes with Helium 10. Use the research tool to find keywords that are highly searchable, that are relevant to your listing, and you can start plugging them to make sure that your listing is optimized to the best it can be. And that takes time, so start early. This is really important. I get asked that a lot of time. When should I create a Seller Central account? When should I create my listing, and I think you should do that as early as possible. So it's never late to start your, I mean, it's never early enough to start your product listing. So let's go. I see here clove tea listing is already listed as FBM, which is amazing. So that means we could, and it's active. That means you could order this today, I guess. However, we didn't get our images yet, so I can see that Travis used the clove water image here, which is fine. I'm actually gonna show you how to update that real quick. So I'm gonna see if I can do that real quick here. And what I did, and this is funny. So we haven't received our images yet with FBA Creatives because we just placed the order like very recently. But what I did, I went online, and this is really funny. I asked ChatGPT to create me 3D rendering images of the labels that we created on a package to make it look real. And this is what I got. So I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Just give me 1 second here. So this is what I got. So do you guys see this? I literally was able to do this in few minutes on ChatGPT. How cool is that? Now, obviously, this is not the real image of my product. We are waiting on those images to be, um, done by FBA Creatives. But I just did this, and I think this is a more realistic reflection of the product. So I'm gonna try to add it here real quick. So one thing I did, I clicked on edit for the listing, and let's see, I'm gonna save this. Let's see. Just gonna close that real quick. Okay, there we go. I think this will look way better as a main image than what was there before. So I'm gonna use that until we get the actual images um, from FBA Creatives. So there you go. It's done. It will take some time to update. It's not gonna reflect it right away. Amazon takes usually 15 to 20 minutes to update something. So once I'm done creating my listing, I think that will be updated. So in the meantime, let's go and create a listing. So I'm gonna go here and say add products. So this is how you create your listing, and we're gonna go to product IDs, because find your product in Amazon's catalog using one or more product identity. Now our product does not exist on Amazon. My product does not exist on Amazon. This is gonna be a brand new product. So I'm not gonna be able to find it here. So what I'm gonna do, list the product from scratch using a black interactive web form. And I think this is the one, this is what I'm gonna use because I'm creating something from scratch. Now, if you're creating something similar to another product, find your product Amazon catalog. You can put an ASIN here to find your product that is similar, but we're gonna try this blank form. So we're gonna start from scratch, right? So it's gonna ask me what is your item's name, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up the listing copyright that I got from FBA Creatives, which has already been sent to me. So let me just get that info real quick. And boom, there you go. So I was sent this by FBA Creatives. They did all the work for me. They created my title, my bullet points, my product description. Also for the A+ content, they did some research and got me some of the best keywords that I need for clove water. So I'm just gonna put this on the side for now as as I add this to my listing. So let's go in here. So this is going to be my title. Product type, it automatically identifies it as tea. Um, it could, I'm not sure if this is going to be a tea product. Let's see if they have like wellness shots. I don't know if that is a category or a subcategory. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it under T category because I don't know what other category. I might figure that out later, which is again, that's part of the research, right? So I'll make a note of that. I'll put it on my page here to figure out what product type do I want my product to fall under? Which category do I want my product to show under? So that could be something that I could, do some research on. So this is why it's also important to do this early on in the process. It takes a bit of time to get the perfect Amazon listing, and having a good Amazon listing means having better search engine optimization. So when people search for your product, especially your buyers, when your customers are looking for your product, you want them to find it easily. You want it to pop in front of them easily. So having those identifiers is really, really important. And I'm gonna correct this because I think initially it was 30 servings, as I mentioned, but it's gonna be 14 servings. I'm gonna put 14 bags. Initially, I'm gonna have 14 tea bags for clove water, which is not where I'm going. Eventually, I'm gonna change it into 6 wellness shots. So it will be 6, but for now, I'm gonna put 14 servings because I'm gonna do it as a tea bag. And I'm gonna make a note of that on my sheet that those are things that I need to check. So product type, servings, those are things that I need to update and make sure that as I'm upgrading, I'm changing those. So I do take a note of those. All right, we confirm. And all the stuff you can change later. The only thing that you cannot change later is the brand name. And you can, but it's not a straightforward process. You're gonna have to submit a ticket with Amazon seller support, and there's a whole process behind how to change that. But I don't recommend doing it from the beginning. It's gonna be a bit of a challenge. So what I'm gonna do for now, let's put in carnivore electrolyte. I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe I'll put it under peak primal just because it's not obvious, and I'll change it later. But since we're already brand registered for this, and this is a brand that we're building, I'm gonna use that for now. And maybe change it later. I might recreate, especially that I'm doing FBM and I'm testing this product. So my goal with clove water, for those of you who are tuning in today and haven't watched the series that we started, today's day 6, I think. My clove water product is something that I want to turn into a wellness shot. However, what I'm experimenting is that I'm gonna sell it as FBM, and what that means is fulfilled by merchant, which means I'm gonna be fulfilling these orders. So I'm gonna package and ship my products to my customers when they order it. And during that period, I want to test this product category. I want to test this niche product, this niche marketing strategy. I want to see if there are people who are gonna buy it, and I'm gonna sell it as FBN. Eventually, I'm gonna sell it as FBA, but the creation of the product itself is gonna take some time. It's gonna take maybe a month, maybe a month and a half to develop. I'm in communication with manufacturers right now. We're still over in our research and development stage, so that's gonna take some time. In the meantime, we thought, and this is a strategy that we've been trying, which is niche marketing. And if you want to learn more about this, we have some videos on our channel that talks about it, talks about product research. Go back and watch day 2 of this challenge where we talked about product research more intensively. But in short, I'm doing this marketing niche strategy where I'm targeting the specific keywords that people are searching for. So I'm offering this product in a different way for a period of time to see how it's going to pick up, how much traction it's going to get, and how well it's going to do. And maybe it might be a separate product. So I might launch two products from one product. And what that means is I might have a clove water that I'm selling as tea because people are searching for clove water and they see those tea bags and it's the same thing, so they buy it. I'm also going to launch it as a wellness shot, which is going to be a straight shot that is ready to drink. It's, in different form. And eventually I could grow that product line into different flavors, different, ingredients, and it could be something that's kind of cool. So that's the fun with Amazon. That's the fun with e-commerce, is that you can build. So there's so many opportunities, and you can start getting flexible and creative with it once you understand how everything works. So let's go back into creating the listing. So I'm gonna pick Peak Primal because I don't have the trademark for clove water yet. I will create that another time. But let's go to the next step. So this is the external product ID, which is your UPC, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna select UPC GTIN because that's the number that we purchased. And we got that from gs1.org. For those of you who are not familiar, in order to create a listing on Amazon, you need a barcode, and that's the barcode that's on the back of every product that you buy in the store that is scannable and is scanned during checkout. So you need that also for Amazon, and Amazon asks you for it right here when you're creating your listing. And you can buy it from gs1.org. You just go there and you say, get my barcodes, or get your barcodes, and you just do it, follow the instructions, and it's really easy. And we have instructions on how to do this. And it only costs $30, so it's not that expensive. So let's go to, let me grab my UPC code real quick. Got it. So I'm just gonna put it here. Now you can select, I know a lot of people ask me, you can select, I don't have a product ID. I don't recommend it. It might cause complications in the future. It's not really the best optimal way. It's better to have a UPC code. It's gonna give you a lot of benefits. So the next step is to upload the main image, the product description, and the bullet points. So this is perfect. So now I go to my my Word doc. Where is it? Oh. I'm just gonna grab it again. So I go to my Word doc. I have my product description. So the cool thing over here, product description is very basic, and in the future, once you have, because we have brand registry, I have a lot more than just a regular product description here. Um, I can create A plus content because I am brand registered, and A plus content is the content that you see down here when you click on a listing. So let's go to, is Carnivore open here, or like one of our listings open here? Okay, so this is one of our products. It's the carnivore jerky. So if you scroll down, this is the A plus content. So you can only, so under product description, you see that, and you don't do it from where I'm creating my listing. That's not the place to create A plus content. But When you're brand registered, you can create this section over here, which allows you to add extra elements that gravitate the buyers into your product. It has more information, it's more visual. You can add more than just a product description. So you can see here it goes under product description. However, for now, I'm just gonna put a basic product description, but eventually I'm gonna have images, I'm gonna have things that are more interactive, more visual, which are going to be a lot cooler than just a paragraph of product description. But initially, if you're just creating your product description, go ahead and add the description as good as it can get. Also, it's important that you utilize the keywords that you are going to find people that are going to use to search for your product. And you can find those keywords using Helium 10. And add those keywords to your description, add them to your title, add them to your bullet points. And that's what we did. So the next part I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave my description simple, and then I'm gonna start adding the bullet points. So here we go. That's bullet point number 1. Some people asked me before, how do you add more bullet points? I can only add one. You gotta click on add more right here, and that's how you can add a second bullet points. I think you can add up to 5. So make it count. So thanks to FBA Creatives, we are able to have this information ready, and it's already powerful enough as it is. However, my job is to go back and optimize my listing. I would rather do that than try to create it from scratch. However, for my first listing, I did everything from scratch. And it's important that you do that if it's your first time, so you can learn. So you can learn and you can see how it works. And now I got into a point where I would request this, and then I will use my expertise to optimize it. And I will do that kind of like how Connor was showing you using Helium 10. So here you go. I added my 5 bullet points, and I really like them. And now I'm gonna add my first main image, which again, guys, I got this from ChatGPT. I'm not kidding. It's not an exact reflection, but it's a lot better than nothing. And when you first create your product listing, you need to have a main image ready. So it could be anything. You don't really have to put your product either, kind of like what Travis did. He put my clove water label on there. But you have to put a main image. That's why you need something. But it will just allow you to start the process. So even if you don't have the image, don't get hung up on that. Still create your listing. Get started. Get this product research started, because you want to figure out how to create an emotional, captivating listing. You're going to start looking into the keywords. You're going to start optimizing. As you can see, it could be a lot of work if you're doing it yourself. But it's great because you start creating your listing, which is like your store really on Amazon. So now we've created the description, the bullet points. I put the main image. So I'm going to click submit. All right. So now it's taking, oh, it's not submitting. So I have to still add more information. So basically, I was here, you have to go here, you have to fill up all the information. And there's 2 ways to fill this listing, by the way. Initially, when you're just creating your listing, go to the recommended attributes here, and that is going to allow you to just fill in the information that is needed to create the listing. There are things that Amazon needs from you to fill out in order to create the listing. Otherwise, you cannot create a listing. In the future, once you create it and you're trying to optimize it, I would recommend going to all attributes. And that's going to give you a lot more options to fill out. Now, that is really good for search engine optimization on Amazon. It's good for your buyer who is trying to learn about your product, especially if your product kind of requires a bit of information, or it needs to inform the buyer about certain things. So you can go and put all attributes and start optimizing, adding things, and that really helps. So definitely check that out. Make sure that you're learning about it. Let's see here. How is that so far? Are you guys following along? Do you have any questions? Okay, let's keep moving forward. Somebody's saying the volume is a bit low. Can you hear me now better? Is that better? Any USA supplier website? Ghazi, we did a whole day of finding a manufacturer. Go check out our third day or our fourth day where we did an intensive product research. We show you exactly how we found these products. And one of the best websites for US suppliers is thomasnet.com. And if you want to know how to use that in the best way, go check out the video that we did a few days ago. So I hope that's helpful. Okay, let's go here. So I already filled up some information in here. Manufacturer is clove tea. I'm gonna put clove water here. Special ingredients is just clove. Number of items. Now it's gonna be 14. Later I might have to change that. Serving quantity is the same thing for me. It's gonna be, actually wait, number of items could be the number, provide the total number of identical items and the selling unit to the customer. So for me, that's gonna be 1 actually, not 14. So that is how many packages or units. So I'm gonna have a bag that has 14 tea bags in it. So I'm gonna be selling 1 at a time. So the number of items is gonna be 1 here. So make sure that you get that right. Serving quantity is going to be 14. So inside my bag, my package, my unit, there's going to be 14 units that I'm going to, so 14 servings in each bag. Flavor is clove. Serving quantity is going to be, portions, pills, milligram, micrograms, fluid ounces, capsules, bars. So it doesn't really say scoops, teaspoons. We don't have the exact. Maybe portions is the right term here. I don't think it's a bar. It's not. We don't have like tea bags as an option. So I'll leave it as portions. I think that's close enough. Form factor, pouch, design characteristics of the item. So I'm going to put here a tea bag. So that's how how is the product itself, how is it going to be served, characteristics of the item. So tea bag, that's going to give them a clear understanding. In the future, when I launch my wellness shot, this will be a wellness shot, or it will be a shot, a liquid shot, something like that in those terms. Caffeine content, my product is going to be caffeine free, so I put that here, that is needed. I don't have any caffeine content, so I'll leave that empty. I think it's allergen free. I don't think there is allergies with clove, even though it will be wise to do some quick research. Can people be allergic to cloves? So it says yes, it is possible for people to be allergic to cloves, but given that it's the only ingredient, let's see. But they might be asking for something specific. So let's see, when it comes to salary free, yeah, I don't see cloves here as an option. So it's gonna have to be allergy free for me. Is the product expirable? Yes, because it's a food product. Product expiration type. I'm gonna put expiration date required. Fulfillment center, shelf life. I don't have to fill this in yet. Fulfillment center, shelf life. You're gonna need this when you ship your product. They're gonna ask you what is the shelf life of your product. So you can put something like 365 days, which is like 1 year, or it could be 2 years. So you put 730, 730, and that means it's 2 years. Now I think for cloves, the shelf life is going to be really high, especially that it's going to be airtight and packaged and sealed. So it should be a long time. But it's important to check that up. So for now, I'm going to leave it as 365 and maybe change that later. Unit count is 14. Let's see here. For products that are consumed by volume, weight, linear dimensions that provide the net quantity that would be shipped to a customer or ASIN. So this should be, unit count is 1. This is how much I'm going to be shipping. It's going to be a 1 bag that has 14 tea bags in them. So this is what I need to put in here. So I'm shipping 1, not 14. And the reason Amazon is just guessing, they're filling up this information for you. They're guessing what the information is. So you got to make sure that you're double checking that. Speciality, I don't need to fill that in right now. Container type, it's a bag. Tea variety, no, it's not tea variety. Let's see. What is that? Provide the tea variety for the item. Oops. So that's a tricky one. Let's see. Provide the tea variety for the item. Now I don't have a variation of my item, so I'm not sure why they are asking about that. I'm gonna leave it because it's not letting me change the actual info. So let's see, we filled that info. Now let's go to add. So now we've added the product details. Let's go ahead and start adding the offer information. So once you've added all your product description, and again guys, once you're done with this and you want to optimize it in the future, you go in here and you start adding more information if you want to. And it's good for optimizing your listing and the search engine optimization on Amazon, especially if there's more information. There means there's more keywords to find your product listing. So let's see now, if we go to offer, it's still showing exclamation mark, by the way, which means that there must be some information that we haven't filled, and it could be, let's see. Pick this. Okay, we'll figure that out later when we click submit. We'll figure out what needs to be filled. So again, enter the quantity of the item that you are making available for sale. This is your current inventory commitment as is. So now the thing is, we are not gonna be, I'm gonna put 50 here. That's gonna be my inventory because this is the amount of packages that I've prepared. So I'm gonna put, I will ship the product myself. This is the question between FBA and FBM. So FBM stands for fulfilled by merchant, which means when a customer orders the product off of Amazon, I will pick a pack and ship the product to the customer. I have to go to the post office and ship it to the customer. When you put Amazon will ship and provide customer service, that means that I am carrying my inventory, I'm packaging my inventory and shipping it to the Amazon warehouse. And it stands for FBA, fulfilled by Amazon. And that means that Amazon will take care of the shipping, the packing, and the customer service with the customers. And obviously, when you're FBA, you're Prime eligible, which means that customers can get your product within 1 to 2 business days. Or 1 to 2 days, really. It doesn't matter if it's a business day or not. When it's FBM, the dates are different. And a lot of times, Amazon actually pushes FBA listings a lot more than FBM. I have talked to a lot of people who've done FBM in the past. When they switch their listing from FBM to FBA, their sales go up. However, it doesn't mean that I cannot start collecting sales today. So that's the cool thing about FBM, is that I can start selling today and I can launch on as FBA. I can send another inventory or replenish inventory to the Amazon warehouse and have FBA. So that's the cool thing that we're trying here. So let's do that. My price is gonna be, let's put $19.99. You don't need a SKU here. This is my price. Item condition is gonna be new, obviously. List price is gonna be $19.99. Merchant shipped group. This is only you only have one option anyway. So this is I provide the item dimensions, the item volume. So this is important because this is what Amazon will use right now, because I put FBM, they don't care. But this is important because for FBA, based on the dimensions and the volume and the weight, that's how much they'll charge you. I could put it, maybe I don't have to, but I could put it. Let's see. See, if I change it to FBA, let's see what happens. Yeah, it adds all that information in. There's a lot more information that they want to collect, but let's do FBM. So the item that I've ordered is actually, item length is, I think it's 11. And this is the dimensions of the bag that I packaged. So I'm just gonna put it in here. And the height is, the height is actually 11. So I'm gonna put height. So the length is gonna be 6 and the width is gonna be like 2 because it's a pouch. Item volume, item volume unit. You don't need that unless you have an item volume. This is good for when you're basically the way you do that is you just multiply the 3. That's how you get the volume. 6 times 2 times 11, and the unit is gonna be inch cubed. So I could do that quick. 6 times 11 is 66, times 2, that's 132. So I could do that real quick, 132. Where's cubic inches? There we go, cubic inches. So that works. And I'm gonna be selling in the United States. Do I want to sell in Canada? I don't think I want to activate these. I just want to sell in the US market for now. So I'm just going to keep this open. Yeah, you cannot close that. So I'm just going to keep this one open. And let's see. Need the quantity here. Enter the quantity item you're making available for sale. So this is going to be 1 over here. And we can see the exclamation marks went away. So that means I can go ahead and submit my listing. So do you guys see how easy that was? I was able to do that in a very relatively short time while showing you how to do it. So it wasn't that hard, right? And they're asking us for feedback. I'm just gonna give them a positive feedback, and that's it. Now your product listing should be ready, and eventually it should be ready to sell on Amazon. So we can see the ground pork rinds are showing here, and we can see that Connor set it up as FBA. It's showing out of stock. We're gonna ship these products in soon, so that's pretty cool. That's product listing is there. The clove tea is on here. That we can see the main image hasn't updated yet. It might take a little bit longer. Amazon takes some time to create those listings, but or to update those listings. So, but that doesn't mean that it's not gonna change. It will change, and I'm sure my listing is gonna be added pretty soon. So that's pretty cool. But here you have it. We just created a product listing on Amazon. It was pretty easy, pretty straightforward. That's not the end of it. This is the initial step. Obviously, there's an optimization that is going to go into the listing, optimizing the listing keywords, which we haven't added here, but Connor went in depth on how he added a bunch of keywords in there. And there's going to be more images. The title might change. The A plus content is going to go on there. Some of the details and the dimensions, the weight, the quantities might have to be adjusted. So there is more that to be optimized, but that's how simple it is to create a product listing. And that's why I recommend, if you're launching a product on Amazon, do these steps early. Do these steps before you buy a product, because it's going to take you some time to get a really good listing going. And you don't want to do it all in the last week. You don't want to scramble last minute to create a very good product listing before you're focusing on your launch. The last month before you launch, you should be focusing on launching your product, and especially if you're a new seller. So I really, really recommend doing that early in the process. And I'm gonna go ahead and answer some questions, but I just wanted to again remind you guys, if you haven't joined yet, we still have some spots open for the program. We only allow a certain number, and I would love to see you on the inside of the program, because there is more in-depth tutorials inside the program. There's hundreds of step-by-step videos. There's weekly Q&A sessions where you can ask me questions. We can dive deep. You get to meet other members. There's a community of people who are on this journey, and you get to collaborate with them. You get to meet them. You get to ask them questions, and you get to ask us questions. And there's a lot more support that you get out of the program. And there's only so much that we can do with YouTube and what we can offer, as transparent as we are, as much as we like to offer. But the real value comes in, the real mentorship begins with the program. That's where we can really support you. That's really where we can walk with you the entire way. And on top of that, you get one-on-one coaching calls with the program, where we can meet with you one-on-one and really see what's going on, really help you out, whether it's picking the product, whether it's optimizing your listing, or working on your ad campaigns, or anything that you need help with, or you need brainstorming with, we can help you with. And imagine sitting on a call with me or Travis or Connor and really diving into an issue or a problem or something that you're struggling with. So definitely join the program, and I would love to see you on the inside. Let's see here. I would love to answer some questions before I close the stream. Let's see what we have here. Adam is asking, where's Travis? Travis went live in the beginning of the stream. So if you watch this again, you'll see Travis's part. He'll be back here tomorrow too. We're not done with this challenge. We're launching an Amazon product live. We started with finding the product, to creating the Amazon Seller Central account, to finding the manufacturer, to creating the product listing. We're showing you guys the entire process live. So we're not done. There's going to be more coming tomorrow, so stay tuned and you're going to see more. Mohammed, does the product uses same UPC code for each unit? So if you're launching one product, yes. But if you have variations of the product, no. You need several UPCs. So if I have, for example, for lack of better examples, let's say I'm selling these scissors online and I have 3 different colors. Each color needs to have its own UPC code. So for my clove water, I had my own. For Travis's clove tea, he had his own UPC. For the pork rinds, Connor had his own UPC for the rinds as well. Aslam, sorry if my product will not sold more than 6 months. How much Amazon will charge per month in FBA? So Ghazi asked a good question. How much does Amazon charge you if your product does not sell in 6 months, if it's sitting in their inventory? So that's a really good question, Ghazi. If your product does not sell, Amazon will start charging you long-term storage fees, and that's based on the dimensions and weight of your product. That's why you have to give them that information, and they will charge you depending on that. There is a calculation to how much they'll charge you. If you go on the Amazon website, you can actually look it up to see how much they charge you, and that fee changes around the year. So during the months of November, December, January, it's a lot higher than it is in February through October, November, I think. Because during the holiday season, they want to clear up the space for sellers that are actually selling. So people who are not selling, they want them to get their inventory out, so they charge more for long-term storage fees. And you can read more about that on the Amazon website. However, and we talk about that intensively in the course, is how to manage your inventory, how not to get your inventory to sit more than 6 months in the Amazon warehouse. That's really important because, and it happened to me, but it happened to me because I planned poorly. It's a mistake that most new Amazon sellers make, and you might have to learn the hard way. But having a mentor, being part of a community that is doing this, you would learn that how to avoid this mistake. I will teach you how to avoid this mistake, how to manage your inventory better. Sir, if my product will not sold more than okay, yeah, I answered that question. All right. So Max saying Travis grew his beard. Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for those of you who showed up today and are showing interest in learning how to launch your business, how to change and create something that is fulfilling. I'm telling you guys, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing this. I love teaching you and adding value and sharing my experience with all of you. It's really a thrill. A few years ago, I was in the same place as you are. I didn't know what I was doing. I was very scared. I didn't know if I should do it or not. I took a leap of faith and I failed. Okay, but I did not give up. Okay, I was like, let me learn from my mistakes. Let me try to do it again. And I did it again, and I learned from my mistakes, and I was doing okay. But I really did not find success until I partner up with Travis and the Passion Product team. And we've been on a roller coaster. In the last year, we've launched several products. They're doing amazing. Travis just did a video on that on his channel. I really recommend that you go and check that out. It's a really cool video. And it just honestly, and he shares everything. He's very transparent. We're very transparent on this channel. It's one of the things that gravitated me towards the Passion Product and Travis's methods. So if you're thinking about doing this, I'm telling you from experience that this is worth it. And even if it adds an extra side income to your salary or to your life, that by itself is great. But I'm telling you that it did change people's lives. There are people who've quit their jobs, they do this full time, and you learn a skill that you take to life. So I'm not just saying this. This is something that it's a mindset shift, and you only realize it when you do it. So there's few spots left. And if you guys haven't joined yet, please go ahead and join. I will see you on the inside. and we will walk this path together. We won't leave you. And if you're still hesitant, we're still gonna be doing another live tomorrow. We're sharing with you guys how we are launching 3 products in 1 week. It's pretty cool, and we're so excited to do this with all of you. So I'll see you tomorrow. I hope everyone has a great Sunday.